West Hotel, and many other local business owners that want to be a part of your special day. I want to thank the One King West Hotel for hosting us while we're here in Toronto, Ontario. Now I have the pleasure of introducing you to Vanessa. She's one of 3 wedding specialists here. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Thank you so much for coming.
Vanessa, tell us what your role is here at the hotel.
I'd love to. I'm one of 3 wedding specialists here, and we are a dedicated wedding service here at the hotel. And I can speak for all 3 of us when I say that we are really passionate about what we do. We love our jobs. And we're really excited about weddings. We love to know all the details. And we would take you through your wedding process from the beginning to end. So we would actually be with you for the initial meeting and the tour, and the first person that you speak to, the week of the wedding, the menu tasting, the day of the wedding. We'd see you all throughout.
Now give us a little background on the history of the One King West Hotel.
Absolutely. There's a lot of history here, starting in 1914 when we were originally Dominion Bank, which we now all know as TD Bank. And it was a lot of excitement surrounding a bank opening in the heart of the city, or what was going to then be the heart of the city. Even with the vault coming in, which we actually now have on site, still remains with us. It's a great opportunity for couples to actually take photos in front of, wedding engagement photos. So it's a great piece that we still have with us, and a lot of history of the hotel. We're actually sitting in the Grand Banking Hall, which was originally where the tellers would operate from. So the long bar that you see now is actually where the tellers used to be. So a lot of Toronto's history and the growing of Toronto was surrounding the bank opening for sure.
Now with the abundance of history that's here, do people usually play that up, use it as a theme?
Absolutely. I think a lot of the couples that do decide to have their wedding here, they really admire the space and the history and the architecture as well. So some couples actually even work in the district. They work in major Canadian banks that surround this area. So they'll actually come in during their lunch hour or after work, and they really enjoy the space for sure. So
we've already talked about the vault, but what other key elements are there in the hotel that couples use for photos?
Yeah, just right outside of this area is the grand staircase. A lot of beautiful brass, railing, chandeliers, natural light, a lot of marble. So it's a beautiful spot to do a first look or a reveal before the ceremony, and definitely family photos look good on the staircase as well.
So what's included in your wedding packages here?
Absolutely. We try to include quite a bit in our wedding packages to make it easy for the couples. We have 3 packages to choose from, but they are highly customizable as well. We would include things like the menu tasting I had mentioned, the complimentary photo permit to take pictures in front of the vault and the staircase. We would include 2 day use suites for the couple to get ready in, exchange gifts and have a bite to eat, that sort of thing. We also include an overnight suite as well for the newlyweds. We would include some linens, chair covers, dinnerware, tables, that sort of thing, and as well as the dance floor. We also set aside 10 rooms at a preferred rate for couples, guests to utilize as well, since we're at the hotel.
What size weddings do you usually host?
We've seen as big as 250 fit very comfortably in the space, but we've had as little as 80 guests in the Grand Banking Hall, and they've chose to utilize some of the space with lounge chairs or a social environment with cruiser tables and cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, that sort of thing. So we can have that size wedding. You can also host in other venues in our space. We have 1,500, which you'll go and see a little bit later. So for weddings that are smaller, we also have other venues in the space to use as well. For weddings for 20, 30, 40 people, and they're a lot more intimate spaces for them to use.
So the One King West, it definitely has the location, it has the history, it has everything behind it. How far in advance are you already being booked?
Well, we usually see that couples like to book a year or so in advance. However, that shouldn't deter somebody from still reaching out. We definitely still have some Saturdays available for years to come. We also would recommend that they look into booking either a Friday or a Sunday, and we're a lot more flexible in that sense in terms of pricing and availability.
There used to be just a season for weddings, but that's changing, isn't it?
It is. We also would offer some flexibilities in off-season weddings, and the off-season is getting a lot smaller than it used to. I mean, the weddings are really all year round now.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
When you're ready to book at the One King West Hotel, you can go to the Showcase Wedding website and click on their link. At your venue, you're going to want a company that's going to keep the dance floor full and have high energy. Let me introduce you to an award-winning company that is big on detail, Elliot from EJ Entertainment. Welcome, Elliot. Elliot, thank you so much for coming here in studio, bringing the energy that you have.
No worries. That's what I do.
I want you to start off by telling me, who is your biggest fan?
Unquestionably my mom.
Shout out to Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hey, how's it going? All right, yeah.
Elliot, can you give a little background on your company and how it came about?
Yeah, we are basically a boutique-style DJ company and entertainment service. We offer all kinds of stuff, sound, lighting, marquee letters, all that. How it came about, I was a touring DJ for many years. I've got a great group of guys that used to tour with me and used to do all kinds of shows. We used to go all over Canada. And then we settled here in Toronto and basically are available for private events now.
So you said that you're a boutique company. Explain how that makes you different from the other big businesses.
So the boutique part of things is actually what's most important to me about the company. We are not 20 to 30 guys, which I think is kind of a nightmare situation. We are basically 9 guys that know exactly what we're doing, have the experience, very low turnover, and every single client gets individualized service. And that's really what it's all about. I don't believe in getting too large because essentially you will just lose control over quality and no relationship can be built.
Everybody might have a different idea of what the DJ's role is. What would you say the role is in the company?
I would say a DJ's role very much is to make sure that from an MC standpoint, from a music standpoint, that they are driving the party. So you've got basically a key person between your caterer, your photographer, and your DJ. I call it sort of that triangle of your vendors. The DJ, in a lot of cases, plays a communication role as well between that. So as an example, your first dance situation, nobody wants to do the first dance if your photographer isn't ready to do so. Well, usually it falls upon us to let the photographer know that this is about to happen. So I really feel that it's not just about playing music. It's really about being somebody that can be multifaceted, do as many required items for emceeing, be able to mix all kinds of music and to basically put themselves in the position of the audience and make sure that they're also having fun.
Share with me a little bit about your team. What makes a great DJ or an MC at EJ Entertainment?
Personality mostly. I really feel very strongly, and I've said this to many clients that have walked in our door for a consultation, I can train a monkey on what songs to play at a wedding reception. That is not what it's about. It's about how you play things. It's about bringing your stylized way of doing things to an event. And I can train people on music, or we can train as a team, a new team member on music. What we cannot train and what you cannot teach charisma. You cannot teach personality. You cannot teach how to be good with people. I would much rather have somebody with a great personality, fun-loving, knows how to deal with people, wants to deal with people, wants to be around different people all the time, and knows how to bring that energy to them, than have somebody come in and be a music expert. That can be taught, that can be shown, and that is where experience comes in. That's where we can help that individual become more experienced in music knowledge.
So you've obviously chose a great team. What should the bride and groom be coming to you with so you know who to pair them with?
Actually, we ask everybody the same questions to start. We ask where, when. We do not ask why. And we basically want to know, when it comes to the where, we really want to know what venue, because the venue has a lot to do with what package you're going to end up with or what service you're going to need. We love to know how many people you plan on having even, and I mean, that changes. And the honest to God truth is, we probably don't ask that much more other than ethnicity. Ethnicity is, of course, very important, especially if we need to make sure that some of that culture is infused into their wedding. But other than that, I always tell all the brides and grooms that walk in, most people don't know what they need or even what they want until about 3 months before the wedding. So sometimes people will book without even booking a package first.
What do you say to a couple that brings you a playlist? Do you prefer that?
We love that. I always say to everybody, we will take as much information as you're willing to give us. That being said, we feel it's our job to make sure that they don't set themselves up for failure. And what I mean by that is we are more than happy and want people to request music. We'll take a playlist of hundreds of songs from somebody because that tells us what they like. But we also want to make sure that everyone understands when they walk in that we want to see that list so that we know about them.
So in the moment when guests come up to you and they want to hear something, you're all for it?
Absolutely. Those are the best types of requests. I mean, that's what makes a fun party. And I really think no matter what, I don't care how many lights you have. I don't care about any of that stuff as much as I care about the fact that everybody that walks in our door just wants to have a fun party. Everyone wants a rager, and that's what we're trying to give them every time.
So the way you meet with customers is a little different. Tell me about your office space.
So yeah, our office space is located in Vaughan, and we designed it sort of anti-establishment to that high pressure sales way of doing things. When somebody emails or calls us, we always invite them in to meet with us in person, where they can come in. We've got couches set up. It's basically set up like a big comfy condo. Come in, have a seat, there's no pressure, everybody's pretty laid back. We can show them all kinds of different pictures of different setups from different venues, take them through the packages. We also have a full setup DJ booth there with lighting and audio so they can actually get an idea of how it would all look at their wedding.
Oh, fun, exciting. And if they wanted to see some of those photos right now, where could they see that?
On Instagram, EJ Entertainment Limited. We're on Facebook. Website is ejentertainment.net. Check us out and let us know if you want us to reach out.
Thank you, Elliot, for bringing in your energy and letting us all know about EJ Entertainment.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
EJ Entertainment is definitely someone that's going to keep your party going. When you're ready for a complimentary consultation, go to the Showcase Wedding website and click on their link. So first, welcome Adam and Kelly here in studio.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having us.
Kelly, can you give us some background on the Glen Angus Golf Club?
Absolutely. In 1995, the Stollery family created a premier golf facility just north of the city of Toronto in Markham. We very quickly became known for some great events. There was a demand for social events and wedding events, and we grew from there. In 2001, we renovated the clubhouse, added on an addition, and created another 18 holes. And since then, we've never looked back.
Just bigger and better all the time.
Bigger and better.
Can you share with us a little bit about what could be included in your wedding packages?
Absolutely. Our standard wedding packages start with the silver and gold package, offer 3 to 4 courses, and from there, the options are endless. Lots of brides and grooms wish to upgrade their weddings and offer late night stations, extended wine services, bars. We try to focus on everything that's trending, and we find suppliers to work with us to offer those.
Now there's many different pockets to the golf course, so where do couples usually get married?
Angus Glen offers some great spots to get married. We have some wonderful rooms that cater to small, mid-size, and large. The small from 30 to 50 people, the mid-range 50 to 100. And then our larger experiences and atmospheres at Angus Glen go from about 150 to 500.
Adam, tell us, why do you think choosing the Angus Glen is a great place to host a wedding?
I think people really appreciate that Angus Glen really provides the backdrop for it, along with our professional opinion. Beyond that, we really allow the guests to create the event how they would picture it and how they really visualize it. It can be as grand or as modest as they would really want their event to be. And we provide the backdrop along with the professional experience.
So you're still seeing modest weddings as well as the grand ones?
Yeah, absolutely. We see events and weddings with as few as 30, 40 guests, upwards to 450, 500, depending on the setup.
So So I can imagine all the well-manicured green spaces. There's many places to have beautiful photos taken there.
Absolutely. It's such a big, beautiful green space. We have some traditional structures from the property's original use as a cattle farm to more contemporary spaces throughout our clubhouse that offer a range of ideas for photography.
And you also have a grand room, don't you, if you want to have a really big wedding?
The Great Hall has seen some very large weddings and as well has a side-by-side terrace outdoors, which also doubles as a great place for a ceremony. So it's been very, very popular, and I think our guests really love the facility.
So you have 2 golf courses and it's surrounded by farmland. Would you say that it's big enough to host an elephant?
We've had everything at Angus Glen: elephants, horses, fireworks, you name it. We really focus on making sure we work with the couples to provide an atmosphere and experience that they want for their guests.
So besides your chef, you obviously have a huge staff working on wedding days. Tell me a little bit about their role.
Our staff are amazing. Our staff takes the bride and groom right through the process from initial meeting, proposing, contracting, following up with the detail, room decor, setup. We offer a full service, one-stop shop atmosphere for our guests. And our staff have been there for a long time. We've had a lot of our staff have been there between 15 and 20 years. And from all the events that we've seen, not just weddings, but everything, they bring the experiences of successful events to your event.
Do people come there for engagement photos as well?
We do, yes. We have a lot of couples come out for their engagement photos. Again, yes, with the amount of property we have with the farm surrounds, along with the pastures and ponds, it makes such a beautiful space for it.
So even though you have a chef on site that has over 10 years experience, I understand you have no problems bringing in other caterers.
Absolutely. We work with South Asian, Chinese, and kosher catering groups, depending on the events, the traditions, and the fare that they'd like to serve.
I love that you brought in these beautiful pictures, but I'm sure it doesn't do it justice. Do you ever host an open house for couples to come and see it?
Yes, we do. Every winter we host a boutique wedding show. We invite in some local vendors from the Markham area, and we see about 150 to 300 couples out every year.
I want to thank you both, Adam and Kelly, for coming and sharing with me about the Angus Glen Golf Club.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
We are following a famous Israeli designer, Galia Love. Her dresses are known all around the world, and she has her new boutique in Beverly Hills. I'm going to send you now to our correspondent, Tiffany Dean, where she got to see the beautiful dresses.
Hello, we are honored today to bring to you something very special. We are here at Galia Lahav's Beverly Hills Salon and Boutique, and we are so excited to share this phenomenal brand.
We are so excited to have you in here as well. I'm really looking forward to talking about our designer and our brand.
The reason why I am so excited about being here today is because I really feel like Galia represents the new millennial bride. She represents the bride of today.
I completely agree with you. Our designer, Galia Lahav, has over 30 years of experience in the bridal industry. She works hands-on with these dresses. So our dresses are couture. They're made handcrafted to go with the bride's measurements, especially by the designer, and handmade in Israel.
Oh, wow. I mean, how special is that? So we're all so excited. Take us on a tour.
Great, let's get started.
So tell us a little more about Galia Lahav.
Galia Lahav has been in the bridal industry for over 30 years. She was born into a family of seamstresses. She actually was born in Russia and then later moved to Israel, and that's where all of her gowns are made at now.
You know, I think it's very, very poignant that you said that she was born into a family of seamstresses. So they basically passed this on, so this is regarding her history and her family history then.
Oh yes, absolutely. She is well renowned for the bridal industry, and this is something that has been passed on for generations.
Oh my goodness, that warms my heart. I love stories in that sense. You know, fashion really, really runs through your blood, and it really is passed down generation to generation to generation.
Yes, it's truly very special. I know even her son, he works within the company as well as even her daughters. Just something that's kind of passed down.
So this is a family-owned business. Oh my goodness, I love it. That's really, really phenomenal. What a special, special company. You know, I really feel like she really speaks to the bride of today. And I say that there's nothing traditional about a Galia Lahav gown. It's very sexy, very, very much runway, couture, and you really look like a couture bride.
Yes, I completely agree. Whenever she first broke into the bridal industry, that was her exact goal and her ambition was to make bridal different. She didn't want the traditional, what you see every day. Like, she wanted it to be couture, to be special. Her dresses fit phenomenally. They're handmade. They're amazing. You got to see them for yourself, honestly.
Oh my gosh, I'm literally overwhelmed by the beauty of her gown on a body. She really knows the woman's body. And she really understands how to accentuate the beautiful things of a woman's body and really to hide the other things. And when you see a bride in her gowns, all you see is beauty.
I completely agree. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Our brides are the most fashionable women. With a sense of style and open mind, they attend our salons with a high appreciation and knowledge of quality and handmade custom gowns. They're attracted to the special details as much as we are. From the first fit, they realize how good a fitted dress can bring out the best of them. Our brides mostly want to look feminine, beautiful, and reach their full potential. Some choose to emphasize it by cleavage, some by a different pattern or fabric, and most love the long, legendary trains, but all in all, they want to feel comfortable in a gown that makes them the sexiest.
So how does a bride contact Galia Lahav?
So we are open 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you would like to book a bridal appointment, you can email us directly. It's la@galialahav.com.
This has just been so fun and so special. Thank you so much for taking us on this fabulous tour and introducing brides to this amazing designer.
Yes, I am so happy we had you here today, and we would love to have you in our store.
Yes, so the new millennial bride, you know exactly where to come. Thanks. Enjoy.
Did you know? Real diamonds glow under UV light. It provides a reasonably reliable way to find out if your diamond is fake. Now that you've decided who is going to send you on your destination wedding, you need to figure out where it is you're going to go. And Judy Macara from Barcella Hotel Group is going to help us out with that.
I sure am. Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for coming here today.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Now,
Appreciate
with
it.
all the planning that there is in a destination wedding and all the choices you can have, how do you help a bride choose?
The world is a big place, right? Normally speaking, what happens is a bride and groom, of course, because it's not all about the bride, right? The groom has a say. They usually know where they're going. They usually have an idea, okay? Because it's not, from yesterday that they started thinking that they wanted to get married. So they usually have an idea of somewhere on the planet they'd like to go. And so, they'll come in. I do a lot of wedding shows. And so they'll talk to me and say, we don't really know where we want to go. Can you help us out? So obviously, I'm going to promote the destinations that we have hotels in, our all-inclusive properties. And for the most part, they're all in Latin America. So we'll start with that. I will tell them as well, as far as budgets are concerned and formalities of the country that they want to get married in or not. Something that is simple. If it's an area that's a little more complex, that might change their decision. So I kind of start with the different destinations that we do sell, and I tell them what might be easier, where they can get better prices. I also ask them as well, what have you envisioned in your head as far as your dream day? And just along those lines.
And that's going to help narrow down to get
It's going to, yeah, you want to start big because they have all kinds of information in their head and just kind of funnel it down, right?
So how often does a bride and groom come to you with an idea and then it has to get changed?
You know what? A funny thing, they come with a very good idea of what they'd like. I would probably say maybe less than 1% have no clue, okay? That 1% are probably thinking of getting married in 3-4 years. So the brides and grooms that are planning their wedding within the next 2 years, like now we're looking at 2019, 2020, they usually have a very good idea of where they want to go. They just, what they deal with is, do we get married here? Do we get married at destination? We don't want the whole, complexity of getting married here. It's such a big deal. We don't want to be bothered. And this is what they think, right? So they want a more simple way to get married. And this is where they think that they want a destination wedding, which that's where we come in.
Perfect. And what is it that Barcelo Hotel Group they offer?
For the bride and groom, there's different wedding packages that we do offer at our different hotels. So in every single wedding package, there's different offerings. So, I'll give you an example. In one of the wedding packages, there could be a massage for the bride and groom. There could be makeup that's included. There could be dry cleaning or pressing of the bridal gown. So there's just different inclusions with every different wedding package. So it really depends on what they decide to choose.
Are there other things that the travel agent can help a bride and groom with when planning a destination wedding?
Sure. Giving them a realistic view of exactly what's involved as far as cost is versus getting married here and getting married at destination. You're saving a lot of money and you are getting quality. You're getting something that was in your head, that you envisioned, a beautiful destination wedding. A wedding today here in Montreal, as an example, you're talking a minimum cost of $25,000. So, and you're obviously not going to be paying for all the guests. So right there, okay, you're saving that money because if you're getting married here, you have to pay for, you have to pay for the venue, you have to pay for everything else.
Like you said, if a bride is picking a budget that accommodates the guests just as much as them, this doesn't have to be their honeymoon location as well.
No. And again, we get that all the time. They'll go to the hotel, they'll have their wedding, they're there for a week, and then they're saying, oh God, I hope nobody stays for another week, right? Because we want to be alone. Well, if you want to save that, just go somewhere else because you will have some guests that will stay for 2 weeks because what they've done is, in order to come to your wedding, they have actually penciled that in as their personal vacation, right? So there is a possibility that you see, Uncle Mark and Aunt Martha on the beach with their 7 kids and whatnot. There is a possibility. So, and again, you want to get married on a fair budget. And then you've always dreamed to go to somewhere more exotic, let's say, for your honeymoon. That happens all the time as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That gives us a lot of options.
Yes.
That's going to help us out when booking a destination. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
If you need more information, go to the Showcase Wedding website and click on Barcelo Hotel Group. Thank you for watching this episode of Showcase Wedding. I am your host, Rebecca Martel. In today's episode, I want to thank the One King West Hotel for hosting us, Gina's Closet for some of her beautiful gowns, and all of our other guests. If you would like to be featured on one of our upcoming episodes, you can contact us through the Showcase Wedding website, Facebook, or Instagram. Until then, to all of the newly engaged brides and grooms, we want to wish you congratulations, félicitations, mazel tov.